Imagine crash landing on a mysterious planet where men vanished centuries ago. Women rule as warriors, and an ancient serpent is worshipped as a god. But what if everything these people believed was a deadly lie? Get ready, because the truth they're about to uncover might change humanity forever. Centuries from now, Adam and Jake embark on a perilous mission to the distant world of Antares. Historical records suggest that a human settlement was established there nearly a millennium ago, yet no further communication ever reached Earth. Now, with humanity on the brink, the duo is dispatched as a last-ditch effort to uncover the truth. As their spacecraft approaches the enigmatic planet, turbulence rattles the vessel due to an unusual gravitational force. The intense radiation from Antares disrupts their navigation systems, forcing Adam and Jake to take manual control. With altitude rapidly dropping, they ignite the thrusters to skim the planet's rugged terrain. However, after navigating a few miles, the ship collides with jagged rock formations, leading to a catastrophic crash. Miraculously, both men survive, though Jake suffers a severe shoulder injury. Their ship is irreparably damaged, rendering a return to Earth impossible. Adam helps his injured comrade out of the wreckage, where they find themselves in the midst of an endless desert, under the eerie glow of two moons. Using their emergency medical kit, Adam administers pain relief and extracts a metallic shard from Jake's wound. As Jake recovers, he suddenly claims to see a dog. Adam, unable to spot any such creature, dismisses it as a hallucination induced by the medication. However, moments later, the sound of distant barking echoes through the desolate landscape. Investigating the source, Adam stumbles upon a disheveled boy named Will, accompanied by a dog and clutching a sharp object. Will frantically warns of an imminent threat, the snakeheads. But before Adam can offer assistance, the boy flees. Chased relentlessly, Will soon finds himself surrounded by the so-called snakeheads, an elite force of formidable female warriors. Despite his best efforts to fight back, they swiftly overpower him. As the warriors prepare to take him captive, Will releases his dog before being dragged away. Adam, who has been trailing Will, arrives only to find the boy's sharp object left behind. Suddenly, the ground trembles with an earthquake before settling into an eerie stillness. Using his high-tech wrist device, Adam checks on Jake, ensuring he's stable before continuing the search. Eventually, he stumbles upon an ancient temple where a massive congregation of women chant a single name, Sumuru. Their queen soon emerges, as High Priestess Taksin proclaims the beginning of a sacred ritual dedicated to the great serpent goddess. A colossal serpent slithers out from a deep pit, and as the ceremony progresses, Will is brought forth as a human offering. However, a female warrior named Dove, who is revealed to be Will's sister, shouts in protest. In a sudden act of defiance, she engages the warriors in combat, demonstrating unmatched skill with her lance. Within moments, she vanquishes most of her opponents and forces the last warrior into the pit, where the serpent devours her instead. Despite the chaos, Taksin orders the remaining warriors to subdue the siblings, accusing them of desecrating the ritual. However, Sumuru intervenes, citing an ancient law. Only men are condemned for unaliving, while women are judged differently. Since Dove acted in self-defense, she remains under the queen's protection, and Will is granted clemency. Taksin, still seething, is abruptly interrupted when a transmission from Jake reaches Adam's communicator, inadvertently exposing his presence. With a snap command, Taksin orders Adam's capture. Acting fast, Adam fires his weapon at the temple's ceiling, creating a diversion. As chaos ensues, Dove seizes the opportunity to help Will escape while Taksin's warriors pursue Adam. Regrouping at the crash site, Adam and Will rush toward Jake, but the relentless warriors catch up, unleashing a barrage of fight. Just as all hope seems lost, Sumuru arrives with her personal guards, overriding Taksin's orders and forcing the attacking soldiers to withdraw. She then enters the wrecked ship, removes an arrow from Adam's leg, and injects an antidote into his bloodstream. The potent serum knocks him unconscious, and soon after, she commands her guards to detain both men. When Adam regains consciousness, he finds himself in Sumuru's opulent residence. The guards escort Jake into the chamber, and they quickly deduce something peculiar. Thus far, they have only encountered women. Even more intriguing, the entire population speaks English, strongly suggesting they are descendants of the original human colonists. Will sneaks in to deliver crucial news. Jake, having conducted a geological scan during the earthquake, reveals that Antares is undergoing extreme tectonic shifts. Underground volcanoes are becoming unstable, magma flows are shifting, and magnetic fields are fluctuating, which explains why their ship's systems failed. The grim reality sets in. The planet has mere months before total collapse. To confirm their health status, Adam scans himself, Jake, and Will using his high-tech device, noting a potential virus. Will, however, insists the tremors are caused by the sacred serpent's movements beneath the surface. Before they can discuss further, Dove arrives with orders. Sumeru has summoned Adam. Taken to the queen's chambers, he watches as she bathes. Afterward, she examines his weapon, testing its power by blasting the ceiling, visibly impressed by the destruction. Sending her guards away, she privately converses with Adam, questioning his origins. Adam activates a holographic projection on his wrist, which Sumeru initially perceives as magic. He explains that Antares colonists maintained communication with Earth for half a century before wars consumed civilization, causing them to be forgotten. Sumeru confirms that her society's history aligns with his timeline. Antares was settled 914 years ago. Despite Adam's warning about the planet's impending doom, Sumeru remains skeptical. She acknowledges that extensive oil and gas extraction may have destabilized the environment, but argues that Antares' inhabitants rely on divine guidance, a belief that Taksin has exploited through elaborate rituals. Taksin, once groomed to be queen due to her family's royal lineage, harbors resentment over Sumeru's election by the people. Fueled by jealousy, she opposes Sumeru's rule and seeks to maintain control through fear and tradition. Adam urges Sumeru to evacuate the planet, but she dismisses the notion, citing that his ship is destroyed and that men bring only chaos. Curious about Antares' missing men, Adam demands answers. Sumeru obliges, leading him deep into the mines. Unbeknownst to them, Will secretly follows. Inside, Adam is horrified to discover that all the men are enslaved, forced into labor due to their physical strength. Women, deemed intellectually superior, hold absolute power. Outraged, Adam confronts Sumeru, but she remains unshaken, claiming men once plunged Antares into violence. As she elaborates, she unexpectedly kisses Adam, all while Taksin observes from the shadows. Adam vehemently rejects the justification of male servitude. A tense argument ensues, escalating into a physical fight. Sumeru initially lands several strikes, but Adam eventually counters, subduing her. Before he can press further, Dove intervenes, striking Adam from behind. At Sumeru's command, Adam and Jake are locked away. Meanwhile, Taksin seizes the opportunity to enact her coup. She orders her warriors to unalive Sumeru's guards and capture Adam. As Adam is escorted through the dark tunnels, Taksin's assassins emerge, swiftly dispatching his escorts with a rain of arrows. Will, witnessing the ambush, frantically warns the group, but it is too late. Dove, gravely wounded, urges Will to alert Sumeru before succumbing to her injuries. Adam is taken before Taksin, who offers him an alliance against Sumeru. She recounts an ancient tale. When the first colonists arrived, a divine force smote the men with lightning as punishment for tampering with nature. Taksin clings to this belief, condemning Sumeru's scientific endeavors as heresy. As she inches closer, growing more intimate, Adam notices a peculiar screen in the room, an ancient relic from a forgotten past. Adam approaches an ancient screen inside Taksin's chamber, hoping for a clue to the planet's secrets. A sudden hiss startles him. Coiled nearby is a serpent, its eyes glowing ominously. Taksin, unfazed, refers to it as one of her sacred children, but Adam reacts instinctively. Without hesitation, he seizes the snake, hurls it to the ground, and crushes it under his boot. Taksin gasps in outrage, declaring that such an act warrants his immediate execution. But instead of ordering his death, she takes a step closer, tracing a finger across his jaw before suddenly kissing him. Adam seizes the moment, using his bracelet to attempt a link with the screen. However, the connection is weak, the interface flickering. Noticing the strange device, Taksin mistakes it for sorcery and demands he hand it over. When Adam refuses, she unsheaths a sharp object and lunges at him. Anticipating the attack, Adam swiftly blocks her strike and disarms her. Furious, Taksin calls for her guards. But when they arrive, they remove their helmets, revealing themselves as none other than Sumeru and Jake. Sumeru wastes no time. "You broke the law, Taksin," she states coldly before delivering a single, powerful punch that knocks the High Priestess unconscious. Reuniting with Will and Sumeru's elite guards, The group moves swiftly toward their next objective, the burn zone. The mere mention of it causes Will to shudder. Jake, ever the scientist, explains that he has been analyzing old records and theorizes that the disaster that wiped out the original colonists wasn't divine retribution. It was radiation exposure. This suggests that the Planetary Command Center still harbors an unstable power reactor, possibly their only means of escape. Navigating through underground tunnels, Sumeru reveals a relic passed down through generations of queens, a photograph of the original colonist ship, still lost in the burn zone. She believes this long-abandoned vessel is the key to leaving Antares before catastrophe strikes. As they move deeper, Taxon's warriors begin closing in. The group scrambles to hide. If Taxon has sounded the alarm, all main exits will be heavily guarded. Fortunately, Will knows of a hidden route. The problem? The tunnel is too narrow for adults. With no other options, they search for another path and come across a cavern Sumeru insists they avoid. Adam narrows his eyes. What's in there? Will hesitates before answering. It's a prison. Ignoring Sumeru's protests, Adam and Jake rush inside. To their horror, they discover dozens of men caged underground. The air is thick with resentment and hopelessness. A heated argument erupts between Adam and Sumeru regarding the treatment of men on Antares. Adam demands their release, but Sumeru refuses. Frustrated, Jake and Will attempt to break the lock themselves. Sumeru raises a crossbow. Stand down. Before anyone can act, Taxon's soldiers arrive, weapons blazing. A skirmish ensues. As Sumeru expertly dismantles her enemies, Jake seizes the moment and finally unlocks the cage. More warriors pour in, and Adam demands his weapon back. With no other choice, Sumeru tosses him the fire weapon. Adam fires into the tunnel's foundation, triggering a controlled explosion that buries the reinforcements. When the dust settles, Adam turns to the freed prisoners. You're free. Move. Still hesitant, the men remain frozen until Sumeru, visibly torn, gives the order herself. At last, they step out of their confines. The group wastes no time, using the nearest exit to reach the surface. Behind them, the sounds of approaching warriors echo through the tunnels. They sprint toward the burn zone, the desert stretching endlessly before them. As they traverse the shifting sands, Adam studies Sumeru. Why did you let them go? She exhales deeply. I have been present at every birth. I've seen male infants live only for a single moment of freedom before becoming outcasts. That never sat right with me. Jake, skeptical, scoffs. Adam, knowing Jake's past, leans in. His parents were taken when he was a child. He was sent to a labor camp. Forgive him if he doesn't believe in second chances. Meanwhile, Taxon's warriors locate the freed prisoners, but, under her command, ignore them. Their sole priority is stopping Sumeru's group. Hours later, an earthquake rattles the landscape, sending them tumbling down a jagged hillside. Thankfully, no one is seriously hurt, and they press on. Then they find him, a skeletal figure clad in ancient gear. Jake scans the remains and confirms the grim truth. The man died from radiation poisoning. Before they can process the implications, Taxon's forces descend upon them, weapons blazing. The group flees, but another tremor disrupts the battle, sending everyone sprawling. Will vanishes beneath shifting sands, but Adam and the others quickly dig him out. Gasping, Will blurts out, "You mentioned a virus." "What virus?" Sumeru, suddenly alarmed, demands an answer. Adam hesitates before revealing the devastating truth. Earth is gone. A virus from the old gene wars remained dormant for centuries. When it reawakened, it slowly wiped out humanity's ability to reproduce. Colony after colony fell. Jake and I are the last. The weight of their words settles over the group like a storm cloud. Pressing forward, they reach an abandoned facility. The entrance is sealed, so Jake shattered it open. As they step inside, Taxon and her soldiers arrive, hesitating at the barrier. To motivate them, Taxon ruthlessly unalived one of her own warriors. Inside, the group locates the quantum reactor. Jake restores power but needs time to ensure it's stable. Meanwhile, Adam, Sumeru, and a guard continue searching until they find it, the original colonist ship. The vessel remains intact, but it lacks power. They'll need the reactor to launch. Adam urges Sumeru to join them, but she resists. "My place is here," she insists. Jake's voice crackles through the communicator. The explosion wasn't divine retribution. The reactor failed due to structural weakness. The men died because they were working on it. The women only saw the explosion and believed it was judgment. Sumru is visibly shaken. Everything I was taught was a lie. Then movement. A shadow in the darkness. Jake ignores it, sending power to the ship. Alarms blare, something is wrong. Before adjustments can be made, Taksin and her soldiers storm in, fire weapons blazing. A brutal battle erupts. Taksin corners Jake, ready to unalive him, when Sumru intervenes, drawing the High Priestess into a final duel. The fight is fierce, blades clashing in deadly rhythm. Jake radios an urgent warning. The reactor will detonate in 5 minutes. Adam orders Will and Jake to flee to the ship. The warriors advance, but Adam fires, creating a barrier of debris. Meanwhile, Sumru and Taksin's fight reaches a boiling point. The planet is doomed, Taksin. Adam shouts, "Let it go!" But Taksin refuses, blinded by fanaticism. Finally, Sumru lands a decisive blow, electrocuting her against a power terminal. Just as they turn to leave, Taksin stirs, lunging for one final attack, only for Adam to finish her off with a single shot. The group races to the ship, boarding just in time. The engines roar to life, and they lift off, soaring back toward the city. Below, the people of Antares watch in awe. Sumru's expression darkens. "I failed them." Adam tilts her chin up. "You saved them." An earthquake erupts. Jake had miscalculated. The planet is collapsing sooner than expected. But Adam halts their departure. The ship is big enough to hold everyone. The vessel lands, and Sumru steps forward. "We're leaving together," she declares. To prove her sincerity, she casts away her whip and leads her people aboard. Then the ground ruptures. The great serpent emerges, attacking the ship. Adam devises a quick solution, using thrusters to drive it away. The plan works, and as the serpent writhes in agony, the ship finally ascends. As they drift into space, Sumru gazes at the new world ahead. Adam smirks. "Welcome to the stars." In the final moments, a soldier surprises Will, with his lost dog, alive and well. "Now it's your turn. Would you have risked everything to save a world built on deception? Who do you think was truly right, Sumru or Adam? Drop your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that challenge reality.